True or false? Is it true that it's better for building muscle to train 3 to 4 days a week or 5 to 6 days a week? I will say this is true if you have less than 1 year of training experience. It's better to lift less frequently than it is to lift more frequently. This answer changes once you become more experienced. So for somebody who's trained longer than 4 years, then training 5 to 6 days a week will certainly have a time and place. There isn't a right amount of training frequency. It's all about how you periodize it. For example, in Hypertrophy Max, one of the phases we have our members train 7 days straight in a row, and then we follow it up with a 3-day rest. But that's only for 3 weeks. So we're intentionally teaching their body how to recover faster. It's a piece of the big puzzle, all right? So this is where a lot of you guys are getting lost and you're not able to get the best gains because you're just kind of following a 20-day program here, a 30-day program there, and you're not following anything with continuity. And this is why our Hypertrophy Max members have been just literally killing it and getting insane results, because every phase of their training is based on the previous one. So there's certain phase in the program where we'll have them training 5-6 days a week, but knowing that this has created an excess amount of fatigue, we follow it up with a phase where they're only training 3 or 4 days a week. So they're able to recover, and then we go back up to 5 or 6 days. So it's all about creating a plan that puts these different training frequencies together. And if this is all new for you, you need to start studying the science of reps and sets and rest periods and all the different hypertrophy variables. I go in depth on this topic in Live Large TV in season 3, and I explain the science behind all the different hypertrophy variables. And it's very important to understand all this. And a lot of you guys have never applied the principle of periodization in a long-term in long-term application. Some of you have followed a periodized program for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, but you've never followed one over 12 months. Huge difference. And again, when I say periodization, I'm not trying to make this complicated. It's the last thing I want to do, but you need to have some sort of plan. All right. If you're not following some sort of plan, it's kind of like going to the gym one day and doing partial squats one set, full squats the next set, and then you're doing 1.5s the following set. Your body has no idea what to adapt to. So oftentimes, if you don't have the understanding, it's best to hire somebody or to invest in a program that is based on scientific periodization, and then you can learn by seeing how it's designed. And this is what I do with all my programs. This is why people pay me, because the programs are periodized from phase to phase. There's continuity. They're not just randomly put together. There's organization. And when you put something together, you get a synergistic effect, okay? Problem with a lot of you guys is what you do is you just kind of cherry pick a lot of different things you've heard, and it's kind of like throwing darts at the wall and you hope something sticks. And a cool analogy is kind of like comparing the difference between 2 basketball teams. One basketball team is 5 all-star basketball players that have never played together, or 5 non-all-star basketball players that have played together. Who do you think is going to do better? The team that has learned how to work together and synergistically, or the team that has just like 5 great things, great would be the equivalent of 5 great techniques out there, but there's no synergism between them because they've never worked together. Does that make sense? So that's kind of like what a lot of you guys are doing. You guys just kind of pull all these cool things you've heard, slap them together and hope something sticks, as opposed to putting the pieces together in an organized, structured, progressive fashion. And that's why it's a great idea to invest in programs that are well designed by people who think about this stuff, who put thought into it. And again, just because something has been thought out doesn't mean it's complicated, all right? Which is one of my missions, to not make it complicated. All right, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to doing this with you once again. Be sure to join the fan page. Every episode, you probably notice a link coming up to check out my fan page. And we do a lot of different things over there that we don't do here on YouTube. We do a lot of contests. I give away a lot of free products. And I give you an opportunity to try things out. And we do a lot of true or false style questions, a lot of quizzes, a lot of contests. Really fun stuff. You'll see what I mean when you head on over there. A lot of interaction on that page. If you notice, my page gets more interaction than a lot of fan pages that are like 3-4 times my size. And that's because there's an active community of people. When you go to my page, you just look at the amount of interaction and you'll see it that it's over 10,000 most of the time. And if you go to some other pages, sometimes with like, 100,000, 200,000 fans, you'll see that the interaction is like less than 1,000, which basically means that the page owner isn't doing a good job at working and interacting and engaging with his community of people. So I keep an eye on that, and I do things to keep my people engaged and participating with each other and really creating a great environment that's positive and where you can always learn. So go check that out, and you'll see what I mean when you get over there. Be sure to like the page as well. We'll see you soon. Let me back up. Let me start all over. But now I will say that you need to use a greater amount of time working with. Does that make sense?